Good evening, folks. This is Deb Delapiana, and this is your short take. We don't have to spend more than, 10 minutes on this, and we probably won't even spend that much time on this. We're talking about Lady Lindsay today. Lady Lindsay today unveiled the Republican Party's national ban on abortion at 15 weeks bill. What Lady Lindsay is doing is running scared, as is the rest of the Republican Party, who is now having buyer's remorse from the overturn of Roe v. Wade. So let me explain to you what that bill is all about. Because I have heard some dim people saying, 15 weeks, that's not so bad. 15 weeks, that's not so bad. Let me explain to you what the bill does. If you live in a state right now, like say, Texas, where you have a 6-week ban, I don't want you for a second to think that that means all you ladies in Texas get now to move to 15 weeks. It absolutely does nothing for the states whose abortion laws are more extreme. And as we know with Texas, 6 weeks actually means 2 weeks. And there's a reason for that. It's all very complicated and all very biological. And for me to explain it to you here in this video would take me longer than 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that. But I do have an excellent article that will explain to you why it's really only 2 weeks in Texas, okay? So, if you live in Massachusetts, where we have, as we do in New York, our abortion law goes to 24 weeks here. And if there is an issue with the mother's health, there are late-term abortions that are allowed. So if Lady Lindsay's bill passes, Massachusetts will move down to 15 weeks from 24. And Lindsay, being the magnanimous, lovely lady that she is, decided to put in exceptions for rape and incest and health of the mother. Okay? Big fucking deal. Okay? What this bill is essentially doing is fucking over blue states. As soon as everybody wakes up to this fact, we'll all be happier. There is a solution to all of this, by the way. It's called voting out the Republican Party. You want your abortion rights back. You want to codify Roe v. Wade. You don't want to codify Dobbs. You don't want that. We want Roe. We want Roe, okay? By the way, the state of New York had this already in place before Roe was even passed in 73. I mean, before it was even, approved by the Supreme Court in 73. New York has had this since 1970. All right? They're way ahead of the fucking curve, and they actually get it. So let me review this one more time. Lindsey Graham is trying to energize the GOP base before the midterms. I really don't believe that this bill will see the light of day. The Republicans don't have enough to carry it through the Senate, luckily. And it will not pass the House. The House is currently owned by the Democrats. Let me explain to you what we need to do. We need to hold the House exactly where it is. Okay, without the 2 special elections that just happened, we have a 9-person advantage in the House. With the 2 special elections, it's 11, but those elections come up again in November. So you need to vote again for the Democrats in Alaska and New York, okay? So we can hold the House. We don't want to lose the House and gain the Senate. It does nothing for us to do that. In the Senate, there are any number of Democrats that you can vote for. If you can just elect 7 of the people running, we not only can ensure that the Republicans' use of the filibuster is negated. But we can also ensure that the two stiffs in the Democratic Party who we really want to get rid of, quite frankly, Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, who are not up again for a vote until 2024, when both of them should have primary challenges, by the way. And I believe that will happen, at least in the state of Arizona. I think the Arizona Democrats are pretty pissed off at Kirsten Sinema right now. Rightfully so, I might add. But just winning 7 of these races, okay, we should be able to beat Herschel Walker, folks. We should be able to beat Dr. Oz, folks. You know, this isn't rocket science. It's called making sure the Democrats turn out to vote, not with the 19% in the primaries, okay? That is not going to cut it. Not going to cut it. There's any number of ways you can vote. You can vote by mail. I voted by mail, okay? I'm going to vote by mail again in November, okay? You can vote by mail. You can go to the polls. You know, there's no excuse for not showing up. We have fascism standing on our doorstep. We have the continued assault on women's rights. Ladies, I tell you now, you need to get out there en masse. And you know what? The Republicans are afraid. And we need to make that fear come to fruition. Because if they win the House and the Senate, not only will this bill pass, I promise you, it will get worse from here. They are planning on impeaching Joe Biden. You know, it will be a time when the impeachment process is used for political purposes because they have absolutely nothing to impeach Joe Biden for. They had ample reason to impeach the orange jackaloon twice, and they didn't. The Republicans are not a party of law. They're not a party that respects the Constitution. And they're certainly not a party that respects individual rights, no matter what they tell you. Get your asses out and vote. Lady Lindsay's bill is bullshit, and it should not even see the motherfucking light of day. I'll talk to you all later.